What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Before I get into this video, as I always like to remind you guys, if you want to donate to my channel, if you want to contribute to my channel, you can do so in the links provided in the description box below via the PayPal or the Cash App. I also have created a Patreon account. I've already got some content uploaded on there, and I'm going to try to upload something today on Patreon. I've already got some of you guys over there, but if you support my channel, I strongly suggest you come over to the Patreon for the very, very low cost of only $2 per month. On the Patreon, I'm able to talk about stuff that I cannot talk about on YouTube for obvious reasons. So on Patreon, you get Too Raw for TV, totally uncensored, unfiltered, and totally too raw. Now, this is a request from a subscriber. He wanted me to give my top 10 NBA players list. And I don't even remember if I've ever done a video really talking about that. I might have done like some type of pictorial video or something like that, but I don't know if I've really given like a more descriptive top 10 list. I know I've done top 50, with the music and pictures and all this shit, but just be strictly talking. I don't know if I've done one for a top 10. So here goes. At number 10, I have Tim Duncan. I noticed that a lot of players, before I go into this, a lot of players who aren't flashy, under the radar as far as personality, don't have the superstar personality. They tend to get underrated by fans. Like another guy that comes to mind is Moses Malone. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who scoff when I say I think Moses is top 15 all time because they don't really know about Moses. You know what I'm saying? They just see this heavyset dude, this older version of him with the goggles and balding, and they think bump. You know what I'm saying? People are very discriminatory when it comes to appearance. I noticed too, man. But Timmy D, to me, is the greatest power forward of all time. I understand there are some people who feel like it may be Karl Malone. There are some people who feel like it may be peak for peak. Maybe somebody like Charles Barkley. And yeah, there, especially later on in his career, there were some games where Tim Duncan was listed at power forward, but he primarily was clearly playing the center position. I get that. But technically, in my opinion, Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. And his career numbers are 19 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2.2 blocks on 50.6% shooting from the floor and 69.6% shooting from the foul line. Those very solid numbers for a post player. I believe Tim Duncan had one season where he was just a hair under 80% from the foul line. So he was a solid free throw shooter for a big man. Definitely better than people like, say, Shaquille O'Neal and Wilt Chamberlain and Dwight Howard. Now, of course, when you think of Tim Duncan, you think of the 5 NBA championships. Okay, that's a no-brainer. I still don't look at the Spurs as a dynasty because they never won back-to-back titles, and only once, 2013, 2014, did they make back-to-back final appearances. Both times, of course, against the Miami Heat. The first time they lost in 7. The second time, I think they won in 6, I think it was, which was Timmy D's final championship. Tim Duncan played 19 seasons from 1997 to 2016. I think during that period of time, he established himself possibly as the best player in the league in the early 2000s. He was definitely in the conversation. That's, of course, when he won the back-to-back, I believe it was back-to-back back-to-back league MVPs. I believe Tim Duncan was a 15-time All-Star. 3 times he was NBA Finals MVP. And he was a 2000 All-Star Game MVP. 10 times All-NBA First Team, 3 times All-NBA Second Team, and 2 times All-NBA Third Team. He was on the All-Defensive First Team 8 times and the All-Defensive Second Team 7 times. He was a 1997-98 Rookie of the Year. And of course, his number 21 is retired by the San Antonio Spurs. Now, I'm talking about primarily NBA, but of course, he was very successful in his collegiate career. His collegiate career with Wake Forest. And Timmy D was, unlike Karl Malone and Charles Barkley, he was also a very good, if not great, actually great defensive player. He was a shot blocker. Those guys, of course, weren't really known for being shot blockers. And Tim Duncan actually kind of sacrificed his numbers playing in the Popovich system. He could have been a guy, if he was on a mediocre or bad team, Tim Duncan could have been a guy possibly leading the NBA in scoring if he got enough shot attempts. And I could see him easily on a bad team averaging 27, 28, 29 points per game. You know what I'm saying? But he sacrificed his numbers playing in the Popovich system. We see DeMar DeRozan, who was playing in Toronto, he had a season averaging 27, 28 points per game. And now you see him playing in San Antonio. I think he's averaging more like 19 or 20. But that just comes from playing in the Popovich system, where less is more. But Timmy D clearly, in my opinion, a top 10 player right now. That's open for debate next season. We shall see. But Timmy